So welcome back to the channel guys in yet another chess video, and today in this video I'm going to show you one of my game in which I again delivered a smothered checkmate, and this game was a 30 move long game, and in this game I was playing with the black pieces, and this was also a blitz game. So my opponent starts off with e3, which is known as the Van Kruij's opening. I replied with e5. Now my opponent plays d3. Now I don't think that d3 is a good move. It is just too passive, and opponent just blocked off both of his bishops, which is not a good thing. You should never block your bishops, and you should always keep your bishop out of your pawn chain. So anyways, game continued. I took control of the center with d5, and opponent now plays knight to f3, developing his knight. I defended the e5 pawn with knight to c6. Now opponent played bishop to e2, quietly developing the bishop. Now I grabbed even more space in the center with f5. Now opponent developed his knight, second knight via knight b to d2, and I just developed my knight on f6. Opponent castled kingside, and now I developed my bishop on c5. Now opponent plays b3, preparing the bishop to b7 move, bishop to b2 move, sorry. And now I played bishop to e6. Opponent developed his bishop on b2, and now I played queen to e7, completely forgetting that the e5 pawn was attacked twice. Anyways, opponent took my e5 pawn via knight takes e5. I grabbed his knight via knight takes e5, and he took my e5 knight via bishop takes on e5. Now I was simply down a pawn, but still the game continued. In this position I castled long, and this is now an opposite side castling game. So this means that it would be a really attacking game, because both sides get the opportunity to push the pawns on the respective side, and opposite side castling games are most of the time attacking. So opponent retreats his bishop to b2, and now I retreated my bishop to d6, eyeing down the weak h2 square. So anyways, opponent played knight to f3, h2, defending the h2 pawn, because anytime bishop Greek gift sacrifices also possible, and I will make a video later on Greek gift sacrifice. So anyways, game continued. I played h6, preparing to start an attack on the king side. Opponent plays d4, and the d4 move I don't think is good. First of all, the d4 move drastically weakens the e4 square. So the e4 square would be a good outpost for my knight, and also the d4 move blocks the opponent's own dark squared bishop, so the bishop is garbage on b2. So anyways, game continued. I planted my knight on e4. Opponent played c4, trying to get a breakthrough. I played c6, solidifying the structure on the queen side. Opponent played c takes d5, and I played bishop takes on d5. Now we have rook to c1 on the board, and I quietly played king to b8, just removing my king from the firing line of the rook. Now we have queen to c2 on the board, and now I played g5, starting my own attack on the king, on the white king. Anyways, opponent played knight to e5 and I simply took the knight by playing bishop takes e5. Opponent played d takes e5 and now I played g4, continuing my attack. Opponent pushed e6, launching a discovered attack on my rook. So I quietly moved my rook h rook to g8. Opponent played bishop to c4 and now I played h5. Opponent took my bishop via bishop takes on d5. I took the bishop back via c takes d5. And Stockfish actually thinks that c takes d5 was a mistake because now the c file opens up and opponent can get some counterplay over there, and also there has not now but there would be some back rank problems if either one of my rook moves out of the 8th rank or if the queen moves out of the 7th rank. So anyways, that's a completely different story. So in this position opponent played queen to d3 and I grabbed the e6 pawn via queen takes on e6. Opponent played rook to c2, preparing to double up the rooks on the c file. I played h4. Opponent played rook f2 c1 as expected, and now I pushed g3. And this g3 move makes my opponent to react to this. And opponent played f3 attacking my knight, and now I moved my knight to f2 attacking the queen. Opponent moved the queen to b5, and according to Stockfish it's a blunder because here comes the move queen takes on e3, lining up the queen to the king. And in this position, according to Stockfish, best move for the white was to actually play the move queen to e2, but anyways opponent plays rook to c3 and it turned out to be a big blunder because now we have a simple mate in 3, starting with the deadly double check knight to h3 double check. It's a check not only from the queen but also the knight, so the queen cannot be captured. If white moves the king to f1, then queen to f2 would be checkmate. So white tries the longer lasting resistance with king to h1, but now the game is completely over. First I sacrificed my queen via queen to g1 check. Now rook takes on g1 was forced because my queen was defended by the knight, so the king it is impossible to take with the king. So after rook takes on g1, as you can see, the opponent's king is completely smothered behind his own pieces and I only needed to deliver a check. And I did so with the knight, with the move knight takes on f2, smothering the king into the corner behind his own pieces and getting a smothered checkmate. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, then please do share this video with your family and friends, and also do not forget to subscribe and clicking the bell so you won't miss any of my videos, any of my future videos. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.